1, 2. Here we go. Good morning. Right, who've we got here? Well, we've got me. Got Enzo. Hi, Enzo. Right, we're doing some more chromatic stuff. Hi, Galactic Blaze. How's it going? Excellent. So, I'll show everybody later, but on Patreon, right, if you want to join and not pay the $4, right, if you go into my Patreon, I'll quickly demonstrate. Preview, right. See if this works. Right. So basically, what we've got on here. No, it's not Tim Hutch. Tim Hutch. So it's right. I have to. For some reason, I'm not searchable yet. So I'm going to give you that in a minute. But basically, what it is we have when you come on here, it says become a member, right? And it, for some reason, and I've tried all the different options, it just always gives me the become a member option. And then you've got basically the two things are $4 just to join and support the channel, which is brilliant if you do that. And then anybody who's wanting one-to-one coaching, I've put the one-to-one coaching up there to see how it goes. But basically, yeah. So that's where that is. So to get to that, you have to go to the 3 dots over here. And then it says join for free. And that's it. And then just use, it's set up for PayPal, really. All right, so I'll come out of that. So if you go to the description, Enzo, of this YouTube channel, the Patreon link is in there. I'll come out of this. I've copied that. But to save you that, that's it there. And I'll just, as the numbers grow, I'll just mention that to everybody. So either join free, if you can spare $4, brilliant. But it is optional, okay. But I would love to see a bit of support for the channel to help it grow and me develop more content, which I will do anyway. So that's the first thing. Right, anybody else here? Do say hello. Other than that, we've got a cool guitar lesson coming up. So get tuned. Close enough. Oh, It's loud, isn't it? Those fingers warmed up. All right, Stelly, how's it going? How's it going? Yes, it goes to me. So the $4 goes to me. So like on PayPal it comes, and the thing is like, yeah, it'll just come through. Brilliant. Okay. Chromatic arpeggios. Should we make a start? Or should I wait a few more minutes? Might wait a little bit. Maybe play a track. Test everything out. Getting warmed up here. There we go. Bit of a warm-up, right? So I'm going to try and think of a key. I think the best key to probably do this in is going to be A minor for today. We don't often do A, do we? So we'll do it. Hi, Sean. Good to see you on here. Oh, that reminds me. As I think, like on thank you, Sean, for joining Patreon. Very appreciated. I think what I might do is, how about I put all of the members' names in the description if I can. That might be good. So if you kind of join on the paid thing, maybe put your names in the description. Could be a good idea. But anyway, let's get into it, right? Chromatic stuff. So we'll start from this seed of an idea, right? Because it's another kind of look at it. Because I know there's a couple of things that sort of go on with playing chromatic stuff, and one is sort of the ear conditioning that you have to go through. And what I mean about that is, like, some of it is just getting used to the sound. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the coordination, getting it sort of under your fingers as well. I'll have to catch up on the chat a bit. It's my pleasure, Tim. It's the least I can do for all that you've given us. Oh, thank you. How did you get the pattern to pull up? I can't get anything but Tim. Can you click on the link? Oh, so there's a link here, and so that link, that will get you there. Yeah, don't look it up. Just go use the link. Because I think you have to be a certain size before you become searchable. Same video, backing track, brilliant. Whoa. Thank you, Stelly. That's amazing. Unfortunately, the beat is a backing track. I'd love to take credit for it. Yeah, so you have to use a link. Yeah, so I'm just grabbing, I thought, because I'd put, like, in the description, sort of like modern rock influences, so I thought I'd better have like some sort of rock backing, although it's just easier like over a fusion backing to kind of demonstrate what I'm doing. But thank you for the super chat, amazing. Right, now what we've got, let's have a look. So it was like, I think like this is like one of those weird moments where you start kind of just faffing on and then you kind of bump into something and then it inspires a whole load of other things, right? So I'll probably need my Frank book as well, because that could be part of this. Right, because I think we'll start with something like this, which is a sort of simple idea, and it's like a bit of a aha moment. But I'm just going to start building up the chromatic pattern, okay? So this is what we're kind of looking at, and it's like super handy, that, and then there's another. this. So what I'm doing, and the way that I'm thinking about it, is that you have, like, we're in A minor, right? So no sharps and flats. So we'll have our basic, like, minor arpeggio. So 1, flat 3, 5, and it repeats, yeah? Let's get away from this table a bit. So I think we probably know that pattern. That's just 4, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, we can make it into a 7th. And even though this isn't quite 2-1-2 yet, we can still do, you know, if you want to ascend with a hybrid, you can still go pick, hybrid. You still do it that way. I still like to do it with a hybrid because it encourages me to kind of go to other places rather than just up and down. But anyway, we've got our basic minor arpeggio. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start extending it as we normally do. So that now becomes a minor 7. So that's our minor 7 now. And I think, like, a really important thing to do is to just practice sort of just improvising with that. So I'm just gonna... There's a D Dorian backing track here. Let's see what it's like. So what I'm doing there, and that, again, a great way to practice, you know, if you sort of, I'm sure you can all play, like, you know, that minor arpeggio and add the 7th in. But a good thing is just to strip back to basics, right? And just improvise with it, and just with that limitation. And see what you can come up with. Cheated. So it's not bad. Doesn't sound too bad with that sort of limitation. And of course we can start building the framework, we can start extending this A minor arpeggio. So we can start adding in sort of like really sort of obvious kind of notes into it. So it's very easy to add an 11th in there. Which is the 4th. That'll sound pretty good. on there as well. Cheated. So we can add an 11th in really quite easily. We've got a 9th we can add in. We've got the Bs. Which would give you that sort of shape. So we're getting almost into chordal stuff here. We are getting to the chromatic stuff in a minute. So I'm getting a lot of mileage just out of all of that, just out of our 9 and 11th, and the minor 7. So I've just got to make sure I've got a few extensions kind of covered here. So, luckily, we're in D Dorian, right? And I'm playing basically this A minor arpeggio over it, which gives us a nice extended sound, right? But, so the next note we can add in is the F, and we get my favourite pattern then. But because we're in D Dorian, which is the second mode of the major scale, an important thing to remember about it is there are no avoid notes, okay? So we don't have to start avoiding notes in any way, shape or form. All the notes work really good. So, like, for example, so I'm adding the F in. Oops. Anyway, I'll just... So, hope everybody's following along with this. Sorry, it's gonna it's taken a bit to get to the chromatic bit, but I want to make sure that I reinforce all of the chord tones that are sort of like in the key. And also what I want to reinforce is like how much mileage we can get out of just a basic arpeggio, improvising it on as if we're just improvising on a scale. Using arpeggio kind of framework to improvise on is really good because you tend to come up with like really sort of interesting combinations of notes and phrases. And I really like it. These are very cool to hear you playing. Having played along with these tracks to warm up for the last few years, depending on which one. Cool. Page 8 of the Gambale book probably is page 8. So I don't know if anybody saw that. This is probably not from that book, right? But this is the book. I mean, really, to be fair, you know, any sort of like modern fusion-y kind of guitar tutorial will cover all of this. So you just need this book. I mean, it's nice to be shown things, but I quite like working out the books now. I've really got into it. The whole first chapter's brilliant. I mean, that's like everything you need to know, isn't it? To be fair. So yes. So we had our minor arpeggio, minor 7 arpeggio. We added the 11th up here. Then we added it down here. Oops. What am I doing? Sorry, here. Anyway, sorry, I'm daydreaming here. Sorry, the 11th's here. Then we add the 9th. And if we added the 9th, we ended up with this little quartal shape thing. So it's getting really, like, it gets really, really mutated. So chromatic wise, we can just start filling in the gaps. So I'm just not going to bother with this F at the minute, because that wasn't part of the revelation. But what was basically minor 7, and we can start filling the obvious chromatic places. So a little few chromatic sequences that I'll play all the time will be something like that, or so I'm just pick, hammer, pull off, hammer, 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 and back down again, or whatever variation of that you fancy doing. And then we've got this little thing here where I'm playing, missing a note, and hammering these notes on. And then finally was this bit, and then we can add in these 3 notes. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing chromatic notes down to the 7th of this A minor arpeggio. And then finally, because we've got this here, and this is the thing I've been ignoring, we can put it here as well. Now, the reason I like this so much, right, is because whatever I'm playing, you can still hear the arpeggio through all of that chromaticism. So it's a great little frame here to teach you that. Oops. Okay, what do I reckon? Pretty cool, eh? So, I'm quite interested in what Enzo's saying there. Oh, yeah, diatonic stuff. So, like, some of that's really good as well. Like, again, the diatonic arpeggios are great when you're in Dorian because they're all going to work. And again, it's quite overlooked. I've had to go over this. But we'll add a bit of that in, actually. Could be quite good. So anyway, I digress. But basically, that's kind of the chromatic stuff I've come up with. But we can extend this. Okay? Off topic. Yay. So just to be clear, Enzo's talking about this book, which is amazing. Because it's got all the bits that I've learned over the past all in one place, which is really good. So off top, truly amazing, man. Thank you. And the first chapter's like brilliant. Really good. So let's extend. So the next part to this is we can do the next inversion up, okay, which just sits really nicely. Okay, let's go through it. So basically, we're using an A minor arpeggio. We could go up here, but we're not. So if you think of this, we've got root, third, fifth, bar. I know this, like, you can do it that way with your fingers, you get slightly more cleaner sound. I prefer a bar. So anyway, root, third, fifth, oops, root, third, fifth. And then we're going to extend that, we're going to put the sevenths in. Root, third, fifth, seventh, root, third, fifth. And then seventh at the end. So, just like that, we'll get loads of mileage out of this, right? So you're going to get... So, anyway, they're all of our kind of minor 7, A minor 7, 2 inversions of that, right? So, the next thing with this is we can extend it again. And we'll go up here. So we can add 9s in. We get all sorts of like cool sort of little riffs there. So it's just basically like a scale, isn't it? Okay, so we'll start just in the same way, extending this arpeggio. So it's like pretty easy to extend this up to our 9th shape. We can get the 11th sound in there as well if we add that D note. It gives us a nice sort of sound there. So in other words, we're adding like a sus2 in. Which is the D. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh yeah. And then, you know, when you start adding the two things together, sort of really cool stuff starts happening. Okay, let's add the chromatic notes to this. So now we've got some cool chord tones. Oops. Got a bit of crackiness going on here. Right. Right. So, chromatic-wise, let's just start from the root note A. And we've got this. Fifth. Then we've got from the 7th to the A. Third. And then we've got from the 5th to the minor 3rd. Sorry. To the 7th. So chromatic, 1 note, 3 notes, 1 note, and then because we've got this here, we've got something there as well. So, let's see what it sounds like with the chromatic notes. So we're building up this whole framework for chromaticism. It's absolutely brilliant. So just to show you this arpeggio. So this is A minor 11. So we know that bit, but then I go for a D. And do little like groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Is everybody follow? Right. Hold on. Coffee break. Is everybody following so far? And how many have I got on? Wait, 12. Wow. So I'll just have a look back. All right. So are we following? Do we know what we're doing? I don't want anybody left confused. If I'm going to show you something, I'll do like it's their job. I don't want to leave anybody behind. This is right. This is the thing with teaching, right? Okay, is that when you've got a group, there's always that differentiation, isn't there? And the quiet person in the corner who's not getting it. So I would rather just do a thorough job because it's a lot of information to take in and go over something. So I'd rather do that. Yeah, no. I do understand that. I'm not bothered about... Don't worry about the spell check. And so... But you've given me an idea. Because I've done this before, right? Mind you, it was more like a coaching thing where I'll do like a free... I mean, I could do a masterclass on Zoom and advertise it on Discord. So if everybody joins my Discord, which the link's in the about, then we could have a free masterclass a month. In fact, I might do that because then it gives the patron a bit more weight, doesn't it? Right. Okay. So I'll just give you the shapes in the entirety, right? Because that's really good. So the way I like to learn these things is like strip everything back to the most basic component. So like stripping it back, if you see the logic, back to an A minor arpeggio, and then clagging on some extensions, and then filling the gaps with chromatic notes seems to make a lot of sense to me. Rather than just going, here's an arpeggio somewhere amongst all of these, because it's just a load of chromatic notes, isn't it? If you just came across this, you wouldn't. You need to be able to see the framework or the target notes. So I'll do that now. So I'll put the two shapes together, right? So we would have basically this. I mean, this would be the A minor, like the first one we did. We've got 4 notes there, and then we've got these weird 3 notes. It's like it's sort of like from the 5th string. It's like a 4-1-4, isn't it? One more time slowly. Oh, messed it up right. And you've got the option to add this F in. Okay. Now. This is the next shape. Next inversion of A minor. So we've just got basically 2 lots of chromatics. Then we've got 1 and then 3. That's very handy, that one. If you were to do like one thing to get your head into chromatics, is that little run up. Because the cool thing about it is the chromatic definitely puts the chromatic note on the offbeat. Oops. And we've got a chromatic bit here, so that's another little extended arpeggio. So you can just mix and match, basically. So hopefully, could be a thing, doing the charts. I haven't really thought about it. Yes. All good. Right. So hopefully everybody is kind of with it there. I just assume everybody's brought their guitar to the stream, you know. But obviously I didn't think, like, obviously people would be driving in the office, taking the kids to school, that kind of thing. Still, it's here for later. All right. So Enzo, right, like you were mentioning the page, what was it, page 8 and 9. All right, let's take part of this. So effectively, because we're in this backing track's in D Dorian, all the notes of D Dorian, second degree of C major gets you there. The second, it's mode 2 of the major scale, and basically we don't have any avoid notes. But if we take, right, I'm trying to think which bit. maybe this bit, right? So these arpeggios are really cool if you're in D Dorian. When you start getting into other sort of modes, like the natural minor, you end up with like a lot of arpeggios with you end up with a lot of arpeggios with the avoid note in, so you have to start modifying things or removing arpeggios to get it to work. But I think that's the best place to play this. Probably here. Just adjust the camera. Alright, so what we've got, right, basically we're in A minor and we're just playing 7th arpeggios. We're playing 7th arpeggios in diatonic fourths going across the fretboard. So, have a look. That'll do, won't it? Right, so here we go. So you've got A minor, 7. We're doing it like that. You've got D minor 7. You've got F7. And then we've got C major 7. So technically, like, if you're in the natural minor, that F note would be an avoid note, but because, like, this is Dorian, like, all of that should work with whatever. So all of that, like every note will work pretty much. So one thing that I think is really handy with this, and I'll just take you through each arpeggio again. So we've got A minor 7, D minor 7, F7, F major 7, and that's the way that I'm playing it. And what we can do is we can, like what I was doing before, we can start extending these. So instead of having like this A minor 7, we can actually make that, we can stick F in. And we end up with F9. And we end up with a B flat. B flat 5 flat 7 with a 9. With a flat 9. So there I'm going. There's that. So all these arpeggios are extended. Oh. Chromatic notes. So again, just taking what we did here, I'm applying it to all of these. But in fourths. That's a tricky one. I have to do it like that. That's probably the best way to do that. So pick, slide, hammer, slide. Slide, pull off. We'll have a listen to that. Stuff like that. Okay. So I've got a little bit of time left. What's the best way to contact me? You can contact me here. Just email. There we go. So those of you who kind of missed yesterday's stream, what I was talking about was basically what's happening with this channel. So it's going to be more structured. There's a Patreon, as we know, and so that's the link to the Patreon site. And one thing we need to do is when you go onto the Patreon site, it'll say become a member. I haven't been able to get that to join free, but to support the channel, if you like, you know, the content that I'm doing, because it's very varied. There's a lot of things. There's the guitar, there's music production, there's coaching, which is my favorite thing, right? So you can join for $4, and what you're doing for $4 is you just kind of basically supporting me, supporting this channel and the growth of it. However, I am, for the $4, I am going to add in a masterclass, yeah? Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting a note here. Right, okay, cool. So I am probably going to do a masterclass once a month for guitar. But give that a go, because I think like sort of that's Enzo's given me the idea, because I think that would be quite good. So a Zoom masterclass could happen, will happen. In fact, hey, what the hell, we'll do one. So to really find out about and to get the link for that, the best way to do that is just join the Discord. So on the about for this YouTube channel, on the about is the Discord link. So anyway, yeah, so $4 supporting the channel. There's going to be a guitar masterclass in there as well, so I'll update that. There is the coaching option for one-to-one, so if you're stuck, procrastinating, don't know what to do with your music career, this is the thing that you need. I have a whole kind of framework that I run the session with, and it's always, people always massively benefit from it. It's absolute nitrous oxide to your career, that hour. So that's that. But, okay, let's go back. And then I have to go to edit page, don't I? So here, right, if you want to join free, you have to click on the three dots here and join free. That's what you do. That's it. Join free. And it would be great to see lots of members on there. I would like everybody, whether it's free or paid, it would be great to have like tons and tons of people on there, all enjoying life on Patreon. And then there'll be content going up on Patreon as we go. Yeah, so that's the Patreon. So coaching, there are two coaching groups to join, and basically these run on a Wednesday morning usually at 5 in the morning, and so they run on a Wednesday morning, 5. It's like 5 till well, it's 2 hours, so 5 till 7, and then we've got a Thursday evening, which is 8 till 10. So you get 2 hours of my time in a group. I've dropped the price actually down to $200 a month, and these 2 hours happen every, hold on a minute. I've got some reminders here. All right. Okay. So this is all like UK as well. So basically I'll be more clear because I'm just getting distracted. So the two coaching groups, one's on a Wednesday morning, and that's 5 till 7. And then we've got a Thursday evening, which is 8 till 10. And that's UK time. And basically it's 2 hours every week that we meet up. And what you do is you go through various music making activities that will give you lots of insight into your creativity, and just basically you will end up a prolific music producer by the end of it. So, and I've never had an unhappy customer. So that's only $200 a month, okay? So hopefully we'll see some people on there. In terms of the channel, I'm going to be doing... Who gave me a thumbs down? Myself? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, that's better. I got one up, one down. Bizarre. Never mind. Trying to think. Got brain fog. You've got it. I don't know why I got a thumbs down. Probably my confusion there. Not to worry. So yes, there's a coaching group, Patreon, and what we're going to be doing on Monday coming up, that's going to be really, really cool. So, right, the $75. So when you pay that, basically you get a an hour's coaching session with me once a month. So you pay that and you get like a coaching session once a month. It's an hour. And basically, sort of any sort of creative problems, blocks that you're having, anything to do with your music or creative business, we can coach on that. So that's cool. Well worth having a go. So yeah, Monday we're going to be talking about habits. Now on Monday this is really, really important because what's going to happen is we're going to do a free write, because like one of the things that you need to know when you start going off and starting your musical journey is knowing what you want to do. What kind of music do you want to produce? How does that music sound? You also want to be thinking about the business side of it, i.e. releasing music. You know, how you're going to make money out of this. So we're going to do some visualization exercises on that. And then the best bit of all is the mindset. Okay, so we're going to have a look into what sort of mindset adjustments you could do to help you achieve, you know, writing great music and getting some sort of like passive income in from your music. So that's what we're going to do. So we really need to the whole point of this free write is to like focus on what the future's like, so that we've got something for you to work towards. And then habits, will be talking about minimum viable commitment. So we'll be looking at like how much time you can spend every day making music or doing music. That'll be the other thing. And then we're just going to have a look at how you can make how habit building structure works as well. So we'll be doing all of that on Monday. So it'll be a free write, so you're going to need a pen and paper. Cool. Anybody on here, do give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you feel compelled. Hi, Perplexity. And also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Right, so we've been doing like a load of stuff on arpeggios. Does anybody want to ask anything about anything to do with guitar related stuff or anything that I've done today? Just ask away. Otherwise, I'll just ramble on. The other thing is, if you're interested in the coaching groups, best thing to do is just email me. And what I tend to do is just you can, like, it's a free Zoom call with me for half an hour, and then I just ask you sort of where you are with your music and stuff, and work out if it's going to be a good fit for you. But yeah, fundamentally, what's happening is every Monday morning we're going to be doing some sort of coaching thing. So like this month is all going to be about making habits, making positive habits. So everybody who's come on here, whether it's practicing guitar, sitting in the studio making music, it's all about those habits. Then the month after that, right, will be environment. So we'll do a month of sort of like working on your studio setup, your environment. So you'd have a whole month kind of doing any tweaks. So if you've been sitting there in your studio thinking, oh God, I really need to tidy it and move things about, I've got like loads of stuff I don't use and it's doing my head in because like it bothers me. That's going to be the month to kind of sort all that out and then just get all of the stuff out that you need. But to actually work out what you need and what you don't need, doing the habits this month makes loads of sense, because what it's going to do is it's going to get you in the studio, if you're not in the studio regularly, making music, and then discovering, you know, once you know what it is you're making, you're going to have more of an idea of like how everything around that is going to support it. So i.e. what you need in your environment and what you don't need in the environment. So you can have a nice sort of clean sort of setup where you're just focusing in on the goal that you're doing, and you're not distracted with, I don't know, things you're not using, like a TB303 or machine that you never plugged in or used, you know, or things like that. Oh, wow. I'm currently learning big band era jazz on my Jackson. That's cool, isn't it? So yes, environment. Actually, I'm quite excited for environment because what I'm hoping people will post their studio setups on Discord if they can, preferably before and after. I'd love to see that, like before and after your studio setups, and then see everybody's very clean, sort of like surgical. It doesn't have to be like mine, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then after month 3, we'll be doing decisions, insight and analysis, and that's going to be like quite a big deal. Because I think like the one thing that's always, join Discord, Enzo, because that's where the class is going to be for now. That's like to get onto that coaching call. You're going to need to be on my Discord. Yeah. Hi Johnny, how you doing? Yeah, just been doing a session on guitar. If you've just kind of come in, how you doing? Great to see you on here. Always reminds me, do like and do give a thumbs up and a sub. If there's anybody on here who hasn't subscribed, do subscribe and also join the Patreon, which is here. You can join for free. Boom. So that's the link you need. Because otherwise, I'm not at the minute. I'm not searchable on there. You got to have the special magical Patreon link. Yeah, I'm doing good, Johnny. Really good. Very busy, but it's all good. What about yourself? You're doing okay. Great. Oh, like that. I'm also studying. Is it Buddy Rich or Buddy Rick? Buddy Rich, isn't it? And Glenn Cooper drums. Really fascinating. Oh, that sounds really interesting. Right. So that's the next sort of 3 months planned. So every Monday we do conditions of success. On a Tuesday we're going to do a guitar lesson. Okay, there'll be some sort of guitar thing going on. On a Wednesday, that'll be just me vertical streaming on the evening, I think. And then Thursday, probably more, well, we'll see on a Thursday. There'll be probably music production on the Thursday and maybe a Friday with guitar stuff thrown in. So like Thursday and Friday will definitely be like studio sessions. Tuesday, guitar lessons. That sounds like all right, doesn't it? That sounds about right. So coaching on a Monday, guitar lessons on a Tuesday, vertical on a Wednesday evening, Thursdays, studio session. Oh, great. Thanks, Johnny. Friday, studio session. Brilliant. Excellent. So, got a few minutes left. I think I should play a track, shouldn't I? Let's have a look. I'll grab a McLaughlin and Hutch track. That's all I'll do. There you go. I thought there was another. I thought there was another bit of the track there. I was daydreaming. Right. I knew it was Buddy Rich, but I was slightly then doubting myself. But I love watching old videos of him playing. Good day, WC. Just subscribed. Oh, beautiful playing. Thank you. Yay. I'm also studying an amazing guitarist and musician named Tim Hutch. Thank you. Love this track. I missed what the key... It's in F minor. Excellent stuff. Thank you. F minor. But today's lesson was in A minor. Cool. Right, so, what day is it today? It's Tuesday today, or Wednesday, so no stream tomorrow morning. Wednesday night, I'll be vertical. But I've also got, on the vertical, I've set it up so we can see Ableton as well, so you can see my door and the setup and everything. So I've got like a new kind of angle. It's not just me on there. I can switch to this other thing. So if anybody asks about guitar sounds or anything like that, pretty much I can get plugins up and we can have a look, which would be cool. But really Thursday I'm just kind of playing and trying to be popular. All right, guys, so that's me done. I'm ready for my park walk, which I need. Unfortunately, I got one thumbs down. God, typical. Never mind. But I've got lots of thumbs up, which is amazing. So thanks, everybody, for coming on here. And it's been a good one. And I'll see you all tomorrow evening. All right. Bye.